Danny Segura for MAfighting.com. I'm here in Mexico City next to former UFC champion Carla Esparza, who will be taking on Alexa Grasso in the co-main event of UFC Mexico City. First of all, Carla, how are you? How's it going? And I believe this is your first time fighting in Mexico, right? How's that like? Because I know you have a Mexican heritage, so.
Yes, definitely. I'm feeling super excited for this fight, super excited to fight in front of the Latin crowd. My first time fighting in a Latin country, so I know Latin fans are so passionate, so I'm so excited to be in a community like this.
You're super experienced. You've been fighting for a while now. You've achieved a lot. But yeah, you've never fought in Mexico. Was this kind of part of your bucket list? Because, I mean, it is a pretty cool city, and, combat sports-wise is a very important country.
Definitely. When they told me I had the opportunity to fight in Mexico, I was like, I'm in. I was like, jumped at it right away. I was really excited to fight out here. I know there's such a strong fighting history here and culture, so it's really an honor to be able to fight out here.
Yeah, and I was looking at your Instagram. You came here early, right, to prepare for the elevation. Can you speak a little bit about that? How was the process? How early did you come to Mexico City?
I was actually here in Mexico City for 2 weeks, and in California we have mountains. I went up to Big Bear to train for 2 weeks as well. So I know that they say that you need at least 3 weeks to kind of acclimate to the elevations. So, when you're pushing hard, no matter what, you're going to get tired no matter what. But I'm glad that I'm kind of taking away that elevation factor.
Yeah, for sure. And Big Bear's high, but not Mexico City high. Did you feel the gap when you jumped to Mexico City? Like, is it noticeable? Is it something you feel while training?
You know what's funny is that technically it is higher here, but there's like a weird science thing that I don't understand too well about in the summer with the heat, it makes the air even thinner in Big Bear. So actually, for many of the days that I was there, the altitude, like the air, was higher than it was here. So outside of the first run when you're like off the plane, I've been feeling great out here.
Nice. And you're fighting in the co-main event. This is the first time you're in the top billing of a card since you fought Jędrzejczyk, I believe. Do you enjoy being in the spotlight and being higher up in the card? And how was that like? Did you miss it?
For me, I guess it's always great to have more eyes on you and the attention. Like when I first saw the poster, I didn't know I was going to be the co-main, so I got super excited, because it's been a few years. So I was like, oh my God, my teammates sent me the pictures, so I was excited about that. And especially not even just for me, but just to have two women co-headlining event, to me it just shows me how far the sport is growing, and it means a lot to me personally.
Yeah, for sure. And let's talk about Alexa Grasso. I mean, she's very skilled. The media and fans, there was a lot of buzz after her last performance. A lot of people saying, that's the best she's ever looked. Did you watch that fight, and what'd you make of it? Do you agree with sort of like the common sentiment that, that was her best performance in the UFC to this date?
Yes, I agree. I think she looks super fast, super sharp, on point, against a very tough opponent, someone who's been in title contention, someone who's been ranked in the top 5 for a long time. So I think it really shows that she's just getting better and better.
Yeah. And, before that, she had a loss to Tatiana Suarez, who's a very good wrestler, and you're also known to be one of the best wrestlers in the division. Do you take anything away from that performance, having watched it?
I wish I could say yes, but I also think that for me personally, when I have a loss in a certain way, like if I lose with wrestling or kicks or whatever it might be, I go to the drawing board and I correct that problem and I focus on that. So just because she had a bad matchup before with the wrestler doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the same. She might be totally prepared for something like that now.
For sure. And your division right now is super hot. We just saw Zhang Weili dethrone Jessica Andrade. I don't think many people expected that. It was a pretty devastating knockout. What'd you make of that? Yeah.
Not me. I was definitely very surprised, but it just goes to show the nature of the sport. The up-and-comers will pop out of nowhere and shake up the division, and there's always someone younger and hungrier coming to take it over. So, us old school people gotta we gotta stay on our toes.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is a silly question or not, but is the belt still a goal? I mean, I know some fighters, sometimes they just want to have fun fights. That's what they enjoy, fighting. But I'm wondering if is getting back to, title contention and getting the belt a goal of yours?
For me, being the best me and constantly evolving is always the goal. And I think style matchups can make fights. Like I don't know who will be and have the belt in, a couple fights or whatever. You never know. So, I think it's definitely a possibility that that could happen someday in the future. And I'm not looking at this fight as, okay, well, I'm getting, this is going to put me next to the belt. Like I'm looking at this fight as a single fight. I have work to do, but of course, for me, always is my goal is to be the best of the best and best for me.
Also, you have one of the cutest dogs in the UFC. Where is he at?
The cutest strawweight in the UFC. My dog is 115 pounds, so we're the same weight class. He's actually staying with his brother. We kind of I raised both of those dogs, so we trade off. And yeah, I've been checking up on him. That's been the hardest part about staying away this month from home, is just being away from my dog. But I can't wait to go home. He's gonna get so spoiled when I get home with a bunch of treats and presents, and yeah, I'm really excited to see him again.
All right, Carla, well, I'm looking forward to your fight. It's going to be a good one. Best of luck, and yeah, can't wait to see your fight on September 21st.